Okay, so I've done a little updating here. I had 3 pairs that were supposed to be producing for the last week and didn't. The first one was Rainbow and Buster, who were over here. Their eggs all had something in them, but I looked at them again, I'm like, you know what, these things are dried out, that's why they look so empty. So I opened them all up, and I'll show you the video. They all had viable embryos in them at one time. Oh, she's got an egg stuck to her. This egg looks like it's about to hatch, but it's stuck to her feathers. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, so I cracked them all open and they were all dried out. So I got into Buster and this is Gidget, and there's a lot of infertility there. Buster's not infertile normally, so that may just be he got too much calcium or what. But they had, she had 5 eggs in there. 4 of them were clear yellow with a yolk. Nothing ever developed. One of them looks like it had something developing in it, but I think it's dried out. But I wasn't 100% sure, so I left it in there, and I'll give them a few more days. And then there's these 2, Matilda and Izod. I candled all of her eggs. She had 7. 3 of them were infertile, and 4 of them did have something going on. One of them looks like it's hatching. It's got this perfect little break all the way around the center of it, and it is now stuck to her breast feathers. Sheesh. And unhappily, 2 of the other ones that looked infertile are the oversized one and the undersized one. I mean, they didn't look infertile, they looked fertile. Something's growing in there. And I don't know what their weird sizes mean. So, I don't know. Again, this pair is not doing for infertility. So, I don't know. We're just going to give them a few more days because it looks like some of the last eggs that she laid are going to be fertile. Although the one that's stuck to her feathers at this point, it's not looking good. Usually what happens when that happens... Oh, there it is, right there. See how this thing is cracked? Oh, it looks like it's got blood. This maybe is not cracked on purpose. There was something living in there, though. I'm going to put it back in the box and let her deal with it. Because if there's anything going on in there, she'll crack it open. So, okay, let me do that. This thing. This is your egg. Okay. I'm not holding out a lot of hope because if there's blood coming out of it, it probably means that the embryo is dead. But I'm going to put it back in there because once an egg is cracked open, hens know what to do with it. So I'm not holding out my breath on Bubba and Gidget here. I'm just going to give them a couple days to make sure that egg is just dried out and not actually developing. I got a real good look at the embryo size and position in it, so if it's changed in a few days, then I'll know. These 2, I'm leaving them be because there's definitely viable embryos in there. So that's that. So to replace Rainbow and Buster. Now what happened with Rainbow and Buster is all of those eggs were fertile and developing, and then something happened and they'll stop developing probably somewhere around the 5th or the 7th day, which could very easily coincide with the cold snap that we had where it was 32 degrees overnight. I'm really learning that if you're breeding your budgies outside, they cannot do it in the winter. All those people who say, breed them in the winter, keep them indoors. So anyway, so that was just, the good news is that Buster is not infertile, and I will try to breed them again, but she needs a rest first, okay? And the other one that I took out is Hedwig and Verde. Hedwig was not, she was sitting in the box for probably 10 days and nothing, and never laid anything. I'm going to take that to mean that Verde probably is infertile, maybe from the calcium supplement or whatever. So I put them back in the big flight. She has an egg bump, but I'm going to guess it's probably an egg that has no shell on it or something. So I'll just keep an eye on her. She looks like she needs to be brought in and doped up I will do that. In the meantime, I have brought in Sparky and Lilith to have their try at this. They are not a bonded pair. Sparky was sparking with his old girl Kelly in there, but Kelly needs a long break. She's laid 3 sets of eggs and raised 1 chick so far. So I won't breed her again until next fall. So Lilith here hasn't laid anything. The reason I'm pairing these two together is they're both gray-green opalines, and they are both stunning birds. Sparky is not small, but Lilith has quite a bit of size on him. She's a big girl, and she is well meated up for egg laying. So I fully expect it to take them 10 days to 2 weeks to put this together, but Sparky's a go-getter, so he will probably win her over pretty quickly. And up here we have Coco and Kobe, who I'm breeding again because I got exactly 1 absolutely stunningly beautiful chick out of them, and I want more. And they're both in great condition and ready and raring to go. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking all these birds that I picked up from all these different places that all had all these crazy illnesses and everything, and I'm trying to generate enough chicks to get myself a breeding program going. It would be pretty easy to get discouraged. I've had a lot of infertility and a lot of, failed clutches and things like that. But the fact is, I have a lot of older birds. I've given them a lot of medications, and, you can't expect that. And at the same time, just for this year, I've gotten 20 really, really nice chicks from a half a dozen different parents. So, and this is also, I keep this in mind, this is the last time I'll ever have to do this, because I'm bringing in a bunch of birds. I don't know if they're fertile or not. They were all sick. I had to treat them all. But from here on out, as I'm working with their babies and grandbabies, they'll all be fertile. I'll have histories on all of them, and I'll know that they're all healthy. So I just have to get as many pairs to give me as many babies as I can this year. And then after that, I'll be working with a normal breeding program. So yeah, I want more babies out of these. Their little girl, she's a baby girl, is out in the flight cage, and she's gorgeous. She's a sky blue, not a cobalt, and I'm perfectly happy with that. So those are new pairs. Here's Gray. These are Gray and Cloudy, and Jester and Sky are today is their first hatch date. We all know that never happens, but let's take a peek and see what's going on. We got a baby. Right on time. All right, you go, girl. Okay, let's see what's happening over here. Hey, Jester, what's your Sky doing in there? Is there a baby? I don't see any broken eggs. Come on. Oh, we got a baby. Look at that. After that first disaster, I get babies right on time. I love that. So that might be a really important piece of information. I put Jester and Sky and Gray and Cloudy out here later than the other birds, and they may have missed the cold snap. I'll have to go back and look at the weather history on AccuWeather and see, because I have dates for their first laid egg, so I'll know. Clearly, their first laid eggs did not freeze. So, yay! I'm so excited. Gray is as a daddy, his credentials. I got him from a breeder that I got him from the same breeder I got Coco from. And I got Vision from him. And this breeder had air sac mites bad. And Gray was one of the worst cases that I had. He sneezed from the day that I got him until the second or third time I treated him for air sac mites. So what that means is that air sac mites stunts their growth if they have it from birth. So I have no idea how big he was going to get. Cloudy, same thing. Now I got her from a completely different source, But I got her when she was 6 weeks old, and she had air sac mites so bad she almost died. And I treated her with antibiotics, which cured the infection that the air sac mites had caused, and allowed her to survive. But she was never strong, did not grow at all. I think she's the same size that she was when she was 5 weeks old. And then finally, when I started treating the whole flock for air sac mites, it became obvious that she had a horrendous case of it. So again, the thing about Cloudy is that she has beautiful feather, even though she is absolutely tiny. So these two are one of those mystery pairs. I have no idea what's going to happen with the chicks, but I'm going to lay money that some of them are going to have good size on them, because they'll be healthy where their parents aren't. Now, Gray started sneezing and coughing again while they were breeding and laying eggs. I waited until Cloudy laid her last egg, and I treated him with air sac mite eliminator, the one where you put drops directly on his skin, so that it wouldn't interfere with her and the babies. So, and that seems to be working out pretty well. So that's exciting. Now, this is the second live baby I've gotten out of these two. It has not made it through the 24-hour mark yet, but it looked pretty solid and moving around and stuff when I peeked. So hopefully, and the fact that it hatched on time, hopefully we're going to get to have some live chicks. If the first egg hatches, then our chances for the later eggs being fertile are very high. So hopefully we're going to get some live chicks out of these two for the first time. I am so excited. Let's see, who's coming up next? Did I tell you about this? Who was in here that I took out? There was somebody in here. Oh, this was Kelly and Butterfield, and all of her eggs were infertile, so I broke up that deal. And after much deliberation, I decided, because of their bond, that I would put Vistus and Luscious back in here again. And unlike last time, Luscious went straight into that box. She is in there. Like, she's convinced that she's ready to breed, whereas last time it took her forever. She finally went in the box and laid a bad egg and then never went back in again. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to get something out of these two this time. Maybe last time the thing that screwed it up was her getting egg bound. I don't know. But I decided to keep them together for two reasons. One, he is too small and has lousy feather. The only reason he's in my breeding program is because he's the only Texas clear body that I have besides Limey. So I need a really high quality hen with this bird. And the second thing is, in the Texas clear body line, I am in love with the blue phase. And if I breed him to a yellow-based bird, all the babies are going to be green. The two chicks that I got from Limey and Marine both took after their mother and their blue phase, so breeding him to a white-faced bird. Now, she's a gray, not a blue, but she's white-based, so she'll have this nice white color. Any of her chicks that are clear bodies will have this nice white color, and if she's split to blue, I'll get blue out of it. So, and even if she's not split to blue, all of their babies will be split to blue. So when I breed them back to Limey's blue babies, I'll get blue babies. So, so I made a decision to do that on a bunch of different levels. Okay, let's see what everybody else around here is doing. There is Razzle, who's looking very full of himself. And his Remington is sitting on... Go ahead, Missy. 5 eggs, and they look very pretty. And this is Sprite, who is the same color mutation as Razzle and looking very much the same. And his Fluffy is sitting nicely on was that 6 or 7? I think it's 6. Good. Okay, you can stop now, Miss Thing. Just sit. Here is Laurel, whom I worried about a lot, but who seems to be very much the broody hen. I don't know how many eggs she's got under there. 4, 5 maybe. But I'm not going to mess with her because she's super sensitive to me. And then here's Haverty and his little Miss Thing. Hi, Miss Thing. Oh, she seems to have stopped at 4. I see some solid eggs in there. Definitely see some development happening. Nice. 4 is good. And this little girl, I took one of her babies out the other day, and when I put my hand in to put it back in again, she bit the hoots out of me. Made me bleed. But if you can see those two, fat, sassy little babies. And baby number 2 is a white-based. So she has a yellow-based older chick, and the younger one is a white-based like her. So I don't know whether it will be blue or gray, because daddy is a gray-green, I think. I don't think he's an olive. I think he's a gray-green. I don't know. Maybe he's an olive. I guess we're going to find out. But they're healthy and happy and good to go. Okay, so good news and bad news, and I'll show you the video of opening up Rainbow's eggs.